Good morning, everyone. Welcome to W-I's channel. And it's story time again. Thank God for waking up this morning. But as I was taking a shower, this just came to mind and I just started laughing. You know what I'm saying? So I said, oh my God, I gotta make a video and share this because people have to be aware of people. Seriously. Okay, here's how it goes. Some years back, I didn't have my daughter yet, but my friend I was dealing with, then later on, he became my daughter's father. Anyway, um, you know, Thanksgiving time, him and his family, they always had Thanksgiving celebration. So we went to his great aunt house. This is in Brooklyn. So I was told about his cousin. Well, it's a male and a female, they brother and sister. I was told that, years before that, they killed their father and they were locked in the mental institution for the rest of their lives. Anyway, I never questioned it, but to my surprise, when we went to the aunt house for Thanksgiving, you know, everyone was sitting around in the living room and stuff like that. And this is where I learned how to store candy in a house. Like if any visitors come by, you have a container, a little cute little glass container with candy, Well, that's how I learned about doing that, So I keep candy in my house in these little nice little containers. Anyway, this is how the aunt, she did that. But getting back to the story now, I happened to be sitting next to this young man, nice looking, kind of strapping, not fat or nothing like that. He had a nice body, like that. And we all some of us had wine, they gave us wine to drink and stuff like that, whoever wanted wine. So, I had my glass with wine and so did he. So I was sipping on my wine. I'm not going to call any names, but he happened to be sitting next to me. And my friend was sitting on the other side of me. So he saw the way I was sipping on the wine and he actually showed me how to drink wine. He said, take it, just take a sip, let it swirl under your tongue, and then swallow it. And I did that. And it really tastes good doing it that way, better than how I was used to doing it. Anyway, he was like, that's the way you drink wine. This young man was very smart, but mind you, he was locked away for many years. He's still in there if he's not dead, because he's in there for life. I don't know where the sister is, but she's locked away also. Maybe they put them in two different institutions. But this is what I wanted to tell you guys. This was the craziest, funniest thing and scariest. One day, me and my friend happened to be walking by. I don't know if any of you familiar with Brooklyn, Kings County G building. That's where they used to house the mentally insane. I think they have a different letter now. I don't know if it's the A building, but it used to be the G building. And at that time, they used to have the mentally insane walk around on the grounds. It wasn't boarded up or gated or nothing like that. They could come out and walk around and sit outside and stuff like that. So they used to be all over the place, all over the street, everything. This is over there by Clarkson. Anyway, we happened to be in that area, so we were walking. I don't remember where I was going. I don't know if I was going by the hospital, but I ran into his friend. So he said, Jennifer, where you going? So I told him, and then we were walking, but I can't remember where I was going. So he was like, okay, I'm gonna come with you. So we were walking, not realizing that we were on the grounds of the psychiatric place, because everything is open, like I said, and people are just walking around, so you don't know who is who. So we happen to be walking, and we getting closer and closer, because the G building is this tower-like building. It's really tall, and it's huge. So we were getting closer and closer to this building. When I looked, no, we heard someone yelled out. Someone yelled my name out, and the friend's name out. Like I said, I'm not gonna mention names. So we looked up and we was like, we called him by name and we said, what are you doing in there? Because where he was like on the first floor, but it had like, it was fenced in. You know, like if you go to a prison or something, you see how they fence off the stuff. Well, these windows were fenced in. Well, where he was like in the balcony area where I guess they can come out and relax in there or whatever, but they can't. He apparently couldn't come outside. That's probably how dangerous he was. But we heard him, you know, he yelled at us, and we were really close to where he was, and we were looking, and I was like, oh my God. And I told the guy, the friend, I said, that's such and such. We can't go in there. He's locked away. You know, he murdered his dad. I was told that. I was like, no, we can't go in there. We would not get out. So here we were close to the door. He's telling us to come. He's telling us to come in. And there were a lot of people in there where he was. And, you know, you could see them like doing crazy stuff with their hands and stuff like that, you know, and moving around, but not realizing that that was actually the place where he was until I saw it. So I started telling the friend, nah, we can't go in there. You crazy? We can't go in there. So we were like close to the entrance, and he kept telling us to come. So the friend, he was walking. I was like, no, you can't. Boy, if you go in there, you're not going to get out. If we go in there, we're not getting out. If the guards see us, that's it. They're going to think that we are freaking patients. I was like, oh my God, we got so scared. When I looked up, I said, look at the sign. It says psychiatric. Kings County Psychiatric. It say G building. I said, nah, we can't go in there. You crazy? I'm not going in there. So then he was like, for real, Jennifer? I said, don't you see the sign say psychiatric? That's what's his name, cousin. That's, you know, the guy knew him. And he only knew me because he met me that Thanksgiving Day, but he knew the other guy. And he was like, oh my God, no. So we walked away. That was the scariest day of my life. You hear me? Well, one of them. I was so freaking scared. So we walked away and we went about our business, and that was that. But that shit stayed in my head for the rest of my life because I could still remember it right now. I could still see it right now. And, you know, I don't know. I after that, I always had some kind of, I just used to always love looking at movies with the psychiatric buildings, you know, with crazy houses or mental institutions, and I'm always interested in seeing what goes on in there and all that kind of stuff, you know. Not that I want to go in there, but, you know, I was just curious, and that's always been on my mind. And after that day, oh God, it was really on my mind. I felt sorry for him and everything, but I was like, shit, this boy's crazy. He killed his dad. Only God knows what he would have done with us. But when he was showing me how to drink the wine, you know, my friend at the time said, I think he got a little jealous. So he was like, don't be showing my girl how to drink no wine, you know, like that. But then he was like telling me, don't sit next to him, you know, he's crazy and stuff like that. But I didn't move, because I always have this thing in me, it's like I don't like fear or scorn people unless they actually do something to me. So, I didn't really want him to act up anyway either. They had let him out for the day because, he had visiting time and stuff like that with the family, but they don't really let him out all the time. And he seemed like a very nice young man, but what I'm trying to say is you have to beware of people. You see somebody, they look nice, they smell nice, they talk good and all of that, but nobody knows what is going on up here. Nobody know their story. Family members know their story, but they're not going to tell you. My cousin, my friend just happened to tell me that. I think the reason he told me was because when he got there, he saw him and he probably was surprised to see him there because he knew he was locked in. So that's probably why he told me that. But I'm just saying to everyone out there, be aware. Be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of people. Seriously, be aware. I learned one thing from this young man, how to drink wine, but that's okay. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm trying to say is, as crazy as people might say you are, he's very smart. He was very smart. But all his life was just wasted because, he has been in there for a long time. I don't know the reason for him and his sister killing the dad or whatever they claim that's what happened, allegedly. But that family was, I was told, was never the same after that. They still live in Brooklyn, the brothers and sisters or whatever, and cousins and stuff. But that right there, I don't know. I don't know how I would cope with something like that, knowing that my brother and my sister actually killed my dad. And they claimed that the father was a very nice man. I don't know, because I don't know him. I never met him. And I wasn't in the United States at the time. But, it's just, it just shows you. You just never know. You just have to be aware out there. Seriously. So, I was taking my shower just now because, I got up early. I took the dog out and, I spent some time outside and then I come back and I get myself together because, it'd be hot and I'd be sweating. It's a really nice Friday. It's beautiful. I'm standing out here by the lake and, that came across my mind. I washed my hair yesterday. So, I was going to take the hot iron and it's electric and, press my hair, press my hair to see what it looked like, because I haven't done that in a long time. So that's what I was getting ready to do. But something just told me, make a video with that story. So there it is, people. Another one of JU-I's crazy stories. Like I said, I have a lot of stories. I'm not going to give them all out right now. But once in a while, I'll drop one on y'all. And P. Diddy, he's still in Manhattan Detention Center. Yes, his lawyer was and still is trying to get him out of there. They were going to send him to Essex, that's in New Jersey, but I guess the judge said, hell no, we're not letting this brother out. Even though that money they were putting up for his bail, they didn't care about the millions. You know what I'm saying? So, you see, when you do wrong, karma is a bee. That's what I call it. Karma comes running to you, and when it hits you, you be like, what the hell just happened? So, all that rich life, all that, everything he was doing, look where he's at now. And Manhattan Detention Center, I've been in there before to visit a friend at the time. I never really went to jails before, but I have a fascination with jails also because I always want to see and know what goes on in there, but not as a prisoner. That's another story, people. And, I went down there before to visit this friend of mine, and I was in I guess that's the cafeteria area, that's where the visiting area, whatever you want to call it. Only thing I don't like how they scrutinize you, they check under your bra, all this kind of stuff. They check you, but they have to do that to make sure you're not bringing in nothing in there to give the prisoners, drugs and stuff like that. But that was about it. I went in there. I hated going, but I wanted to see my friend. He begged for me to come, so I went. And I didn't really like it. You have to sit. First of all, in there at the time, it looked like a kindergarten place, because the tables were different colors and the chairs were different colors. And the person that you go to see, they call them down, and they have to get dressed or whatever. Then they come down, then they check them. They make them squat and check them and everything before they actually come out to see you. When they go back and they do the same. And my friend, so stupid, his dumb ass, I don't mean to curse, he used to come out. He came out and he was like walking around like he was good looking. I don't know if he's dead now. Guy Edwards, I don't know if he's dead now, but nice looking young man, but he was into drugs. He was taking drugs. And me, I didn't know until I actually moved around the area, and then someone told me. And then I saw him sometimes, like sometimes I would see him and he would look really nice, and then the next time you see him, he was doing crack. The next time you see him, he's like looking like all like a bum in the street and stuff like that. And I felt sorry for this young man, really sorry for this young man, and thinking that I could help him. But you can't help people like that, because once they into stuff, they're going to keep doing it. But he was a very nice young man, you know what I'm saying? But he had skeletons, lots of skeletons. And it's crazy. And how I met him, one day my daughter was getting ready to go to high school, and I met him on the dollar van. It was crazy. I met him on the dollar van. Nice looking young man, clean cut, light skin, pretty eyes. And I was like, he saw me, and, we got in, and he was telling me, oh, you could sit over here. And I was like, oh, no, it's okay. And then he was like, no, it's all right. You can sit right here, gentleman-like and everything, clean cut, like I said. And, he started talking with me and stuff. And I was like, you just came out of the military? So he was like, no, jail. And I was like, jail? I was shocked because I never met nobody like that from jail before. So I was like, what? Anyway, he was talking to me. He got a sweet tongue. I'm telling you, he just, he could put it on you. So, he was telling me, talking to me and stuff like that. And then, I was like, he was asking me where I was going. I was like, oh, taking my daughter to go get her some school clothes and stuff like that. So he's like, all right, I'll come along with you, And, we were walking. We went into Vim's and stuff downtown Brooklyn. And, he was really nice and handy and stuff like that. He has a daughter, got grandkids now. But getting back to Manhattan Detention. He came out of there, he all dressed, he has on the jumper and stuff, but he comes out modeling like he's walking down a runway, a freaking runway, and he's posing and stuff because they have all these men sitting up in there, you know what I'm saying? The other prisoners. So I didn't know if he was turned out or not, and he want these guys to look at him so when he go back and they could do the do or whatever. Anyway, I was like, when he got close to me, I was like, you need to sit your ass down. You're not in no damn runway. You're not in no fashion show. What the hell is your problem? Why you doing all of that? And he was like, he was telling me, like to be quiet, like that. And then he was like looking around, smiling. I told you he was a pretty boy, real pretty. And it's so crazy because some of the guys were looking at him and stuff, and then he was telling me, just look at him in the eyes, because I'm looking around, because me, I'm nosy, so, and I always wanted to see what goes on in jail or whatever. Ain't that much you could see, but you know so visiting, you see a lot. So I was fascinated with that, because me. So he was telling me to look at him, don't look around. So I was like, well, why not? He was like, you're not supposed to do this. So I was like, oh, okay, but my eyes were still looking around, shit like that. Anyway, Diddy, you have a rude awakening coming in that place, seriously. And there's a lot of people that dislike you or whatever for whatever things you did in Brooklyn or whatever, or to Biggie Smalls or whatever. Boy, I don't know. I don't know. You better have some good money to be talking these people out of doing whatever. And they might take your money and still turn around and try to harm you, or get somebody to do it for them. You know what I'm saying? So, brother, man, you got a long, hard road right ahead of you. I don't know what to tell you, but people should think before they go out there and start doing bad things to other people. So, that's all I got to say for now. And my friend, I don't know if he's still alive or not, but you know, he continued being in and out, in and out. So, I had to cut that friendship off, because it was draining. It was very draining, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm always telling this person, why you keep doing that? Why you're gonna end up. I took him one day by the graveyard. We were walking, going to my mother's house, because at the time my mother was living on St. John, on Church Avenue. So we were walking from his mother's house over there. And I told him, this is where you're going to end up, in the graveyard, or you're going to be back in jail. So I don't know if he ever ended up being in the graveyard or if he's still back in jail. But he was constantly going in and out every 6 months. Like half of the year he spent away, and then the other half he comes home. So when he comes home, he looks really nice and built and everything. Whatever they doing in there, they be looking better than us out here. But the next 6 months, he ended up going right back in. So I got sick and tired of talking to this boy. I got so sick and tired of talking to this boy. You know what I'm saying? He was a nice person, very intelligent, nice person to talk to, hang out with, but them drugs, that's not a joke. That is not a joke. I ran into a lot of other people that was doing drugs and stuff like that, and I tried to talk to them and stuff like that. Some of them stopped, but they probably went right back to it. I don't know. Like I said, I don't knock nobody. I don't have no shame to my game. I talk to any and everyone. I don't lay up with any and everyone, but I talk to any and everyone. And you know, I meet people down here in Florida. Some of them they in the shelters, some of them on drugs and stuff like that. I meet them over by the pantry. They always talking to me, and they, you know, when I say talking to me, not talking to me for me to get involved with them like that, but they just be talking. I guess sometimes they need somebody to talk to, and I have a listening ear, but I got wiser over the years, not to listen too much, because I always feel like I can help the whole wide world, and I can't. So You know, like this guy from my job, he was a supervisor at Tech. You know, he told me long time ago, at Tech, you know, they always have functions and stuff, and you know, they always have food and stuff. So, you know, I was collecting food for my other co-workers that were far away and they couldn't come on their lunch break to collect it. So one day he said to me, you know, they call me by my last name, Where. He said, Where, you know, this is not the military. You cannot be looking out for everybody. You know, you can't help everybody. I got offended when he said that because, you know, that's how I am in the military and civilian. And, you know, it stayed in my head for a long time. But over the years, you know, I still try to help people, but I don't go all the way out like before, you know. And I listened to what he said, you know, and I saw what he was saying afterwards. So I wasn't like upset afterwards. But, you know, it's true. You cannot help everybody. You can't. You could try to help some, but you can't help everybody. You can't. People would drain you. They would take the life out of you and they would continue doing the bad things that they were doing. That's just how it is. That's how the world runs. That's how the world works. That's how people are. No matter what nationality they are. That's how they are. Some people are selfish. Some are not. Some people are kind. Some are not. So those were a few stories for the day, people. I hope y'all get a good laugh out of it because I sure am. I sure at the time I didn't, but I am now. You know, I can sit back now and look and remember all of those crazy stories and laugh at them. Before I couldn't, but I can now. But to the ones that's alive, thank God that they're still alive. I hope they're trying to straighten themselves out. Guy Edwards, if you're still alive, I hope you straighten yourself out. And by the way, how he got hooked on his shit, he started out smoking weed with his moms. He I used to act like I was his damn therapist. You know, and I used to talk with him, but he never, he's an Aquarian, you know, he never really liked to give out too much information about himself. But I pick up on people from being around people. I pick up on them, you know. And I started asking questions and digging and digging. So come to find out, it was his mom. She used to send him. His dad was in the military, and his mom, I believe she's dead now. I think she is. But his mom, you know, I was told from him that she used to send him to the store to get her weed and her beer. And when he came back home, you know, she would sit by the table and she would roll up in front of him and pass it to him. And that's how he got into that. You know what I'm saying? Mothers, parents, you should not do stuff like that with your kids. You should not introduce them to smoking, cigarettes, weed, whatever. You should not introduce them to these things. Because when the older they get, they're going to start liking it and they're going to start doing it and they're going to get hooked on these things. And then here go the big problem. And now you don't want to be bothered with them. And this is how his mother was. He started out at a young age and he just continued doing it. And then I was told this guy was West Indian. I think he was from Trinidad. Yes, he was, because my friend told me about him. He used to sell stuff on Glenwood Road and Nostrand Avenue. sell like incense and that kind of stuff. So he used to always have his little setup right there at the corner by the Chinese vegetable store. And Mr. Guy Edwards met him, and he got him started with the crack. That's how he got into the crack. So he got stuck on that. And Guy Edwards right now should be about, he's probably in his early 50s, but I don't know if he's still on it, but he has been on this thing for a long time. And first when he got into the criminal system, the judicial system or whatever you want to call it, he had to go to boot camp. They put him in a boot camp. I guess he decided that's where he wanted to go because he didn't want to go to the regular jail. But after that, you figure he learned something. Well, he told me his story then, but each time he came back out, he just kept going back or running into the same people, and bingo, here he go again, getting hooked on the shit. And it just ended up being a everyday thing, I guess. So, and crack is something it's hard to get off of. I don't know why people get into these drugs and stuff like that. Like I said, everybody has different stories. Everybody has different problems. You do things to get away from it, but you can't. Mine was drinking the beer, but I'm glad that I didn't get myself involved into a whole lot of different stuff. And believe you me, I've been around a lot of different kinds of drugs. I've been around people that was doing it and stuff like that. But my mind and my heart wasn't there. I didn't want to get involved in stuff like that. I could have if I wanted to. Nobody took me there. Nobody said, here, try this or try that. I just never wanted to. I was just curious to see what goes on here or what goes on there or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said I've been in different areas and different kind of places where I could have gotten involved into all these bad things, but I didn't. I didn't want to. And nobody can make me do what I don't want to do. Nobody can make you do what you don't want to do. You have your own mind. You have to decide whether you want to do it or whether it's good for you or bad for you. Your mind over matter. So don't let nobody tell you, oh, this person made me do it and all this kind of crap. People make you do things if they have a gun holding on you or a knife, or they inject something in you, and you don't have no way of telling them, no, I don't want that or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, you have a mind. You can walk away from things. You don't have to get involved in stuff. You don't. Seriously, people, you don't. You can walk away. And this is for all these young people out there too. You can walk away. You don't have to listen to your friends. You don't have to do what your friends are telling you to do. Nothing. And if you have a friend or anyone that's telling you, oh, you have to smoke with me, or you have to drink with me, or you have to shoot up with me, that's not your friend. That is not no family. That is not no real family. That is not no friend. They just want you to destroy your life because theirs is already destroyed. They can't help themselves. So the more people they bring into their circle, they enjoy that. So don't listen to anyone. Don't do what they're doing. You do it if you want to do it. I'm not telling you to go out there and do drugs now or drink or whatever. But like I just said, you do what you want to do because you want to do it. Not because somebody is doing it or you want to be friends with them or you want this person to be your man or your woman or whatever, so you doing it to please them. Don't do shit to please nobody. Please yourself. If that's what you really want to do, go right ahead. I know I'm not. But follow your own damn mind. That's what God gave you a mind for. Don't do what others are doing. Believe you me. And getting involved in drugs is not no nice thing. It's not, because you're hooked on that shit for the rest of your life. It could kill you early, or you could still live and be dying anyway. So don't let people control your mind. Don't let people, don't let people steer you the wrong way. You go by your own mind. You follow your own damn mind. So this is Ju-I saying peace out for now. I hope you enjoy my video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Have a beautiful Friday, folks.